Yes, Ian Bell from Gateway 3D. Yes, thanks again for attending this morning. Yes, quite a good turnout, so that's all very promising. Today, we'll be discussing e-commerce in the promotional products market, and particularly how this can be a natural progression into a corporate scheme structure that you can set up for your clients. Now, the way e-commerce is changing the way everyone, business or consumer, is purchasing is kind of central to what we do at Gateway 3D. In the promotional products market, the distributor obviously needs to offer their experience to clients to advise them on the most suitable approach to achieve what the client is after, what their requirements are. So this is why the distributor is so important to the industry, but obviously this isn't going to change, this consultative approach. But what is changing is the expectations of the clients, particularly in this technological age. They want your experience, but they also want the experience that they'd have in their day-to-day lives ordering on the internet. Anything can be bought online. So obviously your website will be where any new prospective clients will check out what you're about, get an idea of the service that you can offer. So through that you'd be offering your consultative approach and your wealth of experience in the field. But if they like what they see and they just need to order 500 pens for an event, for example, just let them order it, have the facility within your website. But to keep the client as an integral part of the business and for you to be an integral part of their business, corporate schemes are obviously an excellent service to offer, but it doesn't just need to be for the big boys. Well, it can be really simple just to be able to set this up for them. Now, the Gateway custom product platform probably makes this about as simple as it can get. You need to obviously start off with a generic range of products that you've agreed with the clients that are going to be the core items in their scheme. But you don't need to go through sampling and photography to get all these ready, because we have a bank of products from leading suppliers that are already set up. And if you need to bring in new suppliers, then you can bring them in as well as and when you need to. So basically, the way that we would suggest how it works is we have the Gateway 3D custom product platform where you can generate all of your samples, which I'll show you how this works shortly. This links through to a Magento store with the Gateway 3D Personalize app installed, and all the print-on-demand products are stored in one database and signed and assigned to the correct websites and the correct categories from this one central database. So your management of the schemes as a whole for a range of clients is simple. Off that, run skin sites. So basically you can set a site up, reskin it for client number 2, client number 3, client number 4, and within the central database you then assign the correct products to the correct site. These sites are usually behind usernames and passwords. That's usually the best way to approach it, so that only authorized buyers can go in and buy. So setting up the products is one of the first parts. So in the Gateway 3D platform, this is the interface for the Gateway 3D custom product platform, and in here I have just selected a range of products from different suppliers that can then be set up for a print-on-demand product. So you've agreed the range with the clients. So then your artwork people would just log into here, and all they need to do is to create the product. So rather than going into Photoshop, selecting the logo, adding it all manually, doing them all one at a time, with this we can just select the products that we want. So if I select this bag, a phone case, a mug, a different bag, whatever, right, select the products as necessary, and then with the selected products, all I'm simply doing is going down to the Create Print-on-Demand Products. Once I've selected that option, it asks me to choose an artwork file. So click on the artwork file. I'll just go to my desktop. There's a couple of files there. I've got a Google Chrome logo as an example. So click that. Now the system is generating that piece of artwork onto the default print area of all of these products. The point of this is to speed up the processing of the product so that you can get them quickly into a site. Now, the actual reference number that our system generates is the first. This is just sort of happening live as the products are getting generated. The reference number, which you can see here, is unique to that piece of print artwork at that specified size on that particular product. So this reference number can be added into the back end of the Magento website, and each time that product is ordered, the client would simply select the quantity. There'll be a tiered pricing structure next to it so that they know what they're paying for the product. So as they add that to cart and follow the normal procedure that you would do in any website, as the order is placed, it will then get automatically sent through to the relevant fulfillment house that's been assigned for this product, and they will receive the artwork that they're familiar with in a format for them to be able to go directly to production, because obviously the products are pre-agreed, they know exactly what they're going to get. So as the order is received, the receiving fulfillment house, whoever that might be, in this particular section, in the workflow manager, this is just a test order I put through earlier just to show as an example so you can see what the suppliers would receive. Basically, they would get a thumbnail of the product, all the details that they would need. They can see that the status of the order has been received by the supplier. In this section, I would just fill my name in, but here would be the billing address that they would fill in on the form and the shipping address. And this can then be tracked, so there can be specific shipping methods set, couriers used, allocate the tracking numbers so that they can see exactly where it is up to at any point. So that's the basic principle of how the system works. Now you're probably thinking, well, we have to set a website up and things like this. So the package that we would offer would be so that you could create a Magento website starting with a design theme. So the design theme can be whatever you want it to be. I've just opened up a theme site called Hello Themes. So if you imagine this theme could be your corporate scheme theme. So just to look at like any other website, excuse that message, I'll get rid of that. So in here, these top level categories could be pens, mugs, clothing, for example. Drill down into the products. And then when you're on the product page, this is where the print on demand image would appear from what you've just created. And then go through, add to cart in the normal method, and it would have the pricing structure, and that order would obviously be stored in the back end of this Magento website, so you had all the order details, but the actual fulfillment, you don't need to be pricing any orders with suppliers on an order-by-order basis, because that's completely automated. So the principle of the whole thing is to make it incredibly simple for distributors to be able to set up a site. So once the structure is in place and we have the login to the custom product platform, you have the Magento structure in place. Each individual skin size is a very simple operation that can just be reskinned onto a different URL for each client, and then if you have in-house artwork people who are familiar working with artwork, then they can certainly swap all the graphics out, add the logos for the customers, and you can do a lot of the work yourself from the base structure being in place. Or we can just supply the Personalize It app as an API or as a Magento extension, so you can add into your own e-commerce structure and offer this facility by just reskinning sites yourself. So it can be a very simple operation, but the key piece of equipment or the key piece of technology is the Personalize It app, which is central to the Gateway custom product platform. So that's the principle. We're having massive response from how people are dealing with this. So the response we've got is excellent so far. So what we want to be able to do is to offer this as a facility so that you can offer an excellent service through to your clients. One of the points about the whole scheme is that the traditional way of having a corporate scheme set up would be that you would have a stock holding and you would be calling these products off as required. Using this principle of it being print on demand, then there is no stock holding. There's no warehousing cost. There are no pick and pack charges. There's never any discrepancies in the stock that should be in the warehouse and what's actually in the warehouse to be picked. So it's a reassurance for the client that it's a very simple scheme to operate and it's easy to manage for yourselves, because you can add new products in as and when you want to. You have a meeting with the client, discuss some additional products that you want to add in, go into the custom product platform, into here, find the product that you need, and then you can then assign the artwork to them and add that into your Magento structure and assign to the relevant website. So that's the principle of the whole thing. We can set it up very simply from our end, and also with the Personalize It API, it's very easy to set up yourselves once you've got the app installed into your website structure. So that's the principle. That's what I wanted to explain. I'll be sending details out to everybody who's registered, so they can have a look through the webinar at your own time. And I've noticed that while I've been talking, a few questions have appeared, so I'll just whiz through those quickly, just to try and keep this short and sweet, as I promised. How many products can we set? You can set up as many products as you want to. If you have, for example, a specific supplier who deals in a maybe slightly more obscure product, it's quite easy to set them up. So we would come to an arrangement with the supplier so that they understand how they would receive their orders, and then the product itself can be set up from a photograph. So it can be just a photograph with an assigned print area, all set up within the platform. What else have we got here? Additional brand. Oh, I see. Right. If you wanted, for example, to set up any additional branding on the product, just in here, once the products are set up, we can set the products up in a slightly different way. Other facilities within the platform itself. Let's say, for example, they wanted to add golf day or whatever it might be to the product before they ordered it, then the products can be set up with additional print areas or image areas and additional text areas. So these can be actually customized on the fly by the client, so that as they are ordering one of the generic products, they can add the additional branding that they want to. But then the order with the full artwork, including the logo as the generic item, with the additional branding, would then get sent through to the workflow manager for the relevant supplier. So if this generic product was just a Budweiser bottle and someone had typed the word Budweiser manually, the artwork file that they would receive would be for the complete piece of artwork, so that they're ready to go to print. Okay, one other question: how many sites? Oh, on this structure, it's unlimited how many sites you can set up, because with the power of the Magento backend, it can run as many client sites as you want to. So if you've got 50 clients and you think, you could generate a product range of 20 products for them quite easily to actually get them on board, it could be something that you could offer from the start of dealing with a new client. So there's a multitude of different ways that things can be set up, but this is quite a basic, straightforward strategy that can be used. So that seems to be all of the questions that have come through so far. So I will be emailing out a link to everybody so that you got all the information that's come from here. But by all means, feel free to contact me. The details will be on the email that went out with the webinar invite. But my email address is just ian@gateway3d.com, or the numbers are on the email. And I look forward to speaking to you all soon. So thank you all for attending this morning, and I'm sure I'll speak to you all soon. Okay, thank you very much.